Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It's Lydia Joy here. I hope everyone is doing well and enjoying December. I am stopping by live to share the latest on the blog with you. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Lydia Joy. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, a single mom of 4 boys, and I love helping women to empower women to radically transform their health and lives. And I wanted to share a little bit about something called self-sabotage. For those of you who, maybe are on a health journey like myself, and I shared a little bit more about that yesterday in yesterday's video, so if you haven't watched that yet, you may want to check it out. I talked a little bit more about, my own experience with adrenal fatigue and why that's a very pervasive issue, and you can totally go check that out if that's a topic that interests you. But you'll know that if you're familiar with the concept of healing journey or adrenal fatigue or any type of health issue that, is kind of deeper rooted and something that you can't just get rid of overnight, that anytime you're looking to shift something in your life, you may run into something what we call self-sabotage, where there's things you need to be doing to kind of make the shift, don't want to do it. And here's the thing, we all do this. We all have ways we sabotage our goals and our intentions and things that we really want in our life. And there's zero shame around this whatsoever. It is a fact. So the cool thing is today I want to just own that and, maybe make a statement that we all have sabotage. So let's just shine the light on it when we see it, admit it, own it, and then we get to deal with it. So, I don't know about you guys, but as the year has been winding down, it's December 11th now, I'm really reflecting on my past year. I'm starting to kind of think of what I want to take with me into the new year, what I want to create for 2019. And I'm starting to think about what I've learned this year. And I knew I wanted to make changes this year for my life, but I also knew that I have a rebel spirit. If you guys haven't done the 4 tendencies yet, go check that out. It's a really cool quiz that you can take. It's a book, and you can kind of learn more about your own personal habits, how you form habits. It's really cool. But as a rebel, I know for me, I have to deeply connect to the why behind any change I'm going to make before I, make some kind of declaration that I'm going to do this thing. So for example, let's say exercise, because we've all done this, right? Oh, I'm going to exercise more. And then either we do or we don't, or we waffle back and forth, or we put this expectation on ourselves and then we don't live up to it and that kind of thing. So for me, I really had to learn to connect to the why behind any change I want to make in my life and really own that, really understand that, really get, connected to that. Because the truth is that any new result you want in your life, you want to create in your life, it just really depends on how much actual personal responsibility you are willing to take for it. And sometimes that can be hard. It can be harder than we think. And we can say, oh, I'm going to go to the gym every day for a month. And we make these declarations, but then we are like, oh, I didn't do it, so X, Y, Z. And really what I want to kind of point out is that can be self-sabotage for sure, but there's so much more to it. It's about setting up realistic, sustainable change and goals for yourself too. So there's a piece of the puzzle that often I think we forget to do. So I posted a link for you, which you can check out. It's just a blog post that I wrote recently about what happens when you learn how to overcome self-sabotage. This is something that I actually work with my clients on, because the truth of the matter is we're all going to face this. And really, it's just a choice. And it's just important to become aware of it. Become aware of the behaviors that we allow ourselves to choose that move us away, not towards, what it is we really want in our health and life. And honestly, it can be a really great gift to us if we allow it to be, because it can show us what we really need. So like I just gave you an example of someone making the declaration. They're going to go to the gym every day for 30 days. And what happened was they didn't do it, and then they stop and quit, or maybe they don't keep going, or maybe what they realize is, that was an unrealistic goal. Maybe I will shift the goal, because what I really want is to feel good in my body. I really want to move my body more so I can feel better. My brain works better when I exercise, or I don't want to feel so out of shape, or whatever the reason, right? So it's, the self-sabotage can be a tool we can use to course correct, if that makes sense. So it's just really important to make these connections with yourself and do check-ins with yourself so that you can move forward and actually move towards your goal instead of away from it, or instead of like quitting altogether or feeling bad about yourself because you don't know how to make a healthy habit stick. So in the blog post, I'm going to share really quick with you, I talk a little bit about acknowledging your self-sabotaging behaviors, because as a health practitioner in working with my clients, I have people come to me and they want to know what to do to correct their health, and I'll give them a protocol and tell them in advance, you may or may not keep this perfectly. And that's okay, because I think sometimes we get this expectation that if I just follow this protocol perfectly, it's going to fix everything. And that's not always very realistic. So there's a lot that we could kind of delve into, but for the sake of keeping this brief and honoring your time, I really just am here to introduce the topic to you in case you're someone who's like, reflecting on your year. Maybe there's health habits you wanted to create that you didn't, and you're thinking about next year. Just to kind of go and read that article so that you have another tool, something to really consider when you're really setting yourself up to have the best success possible. So there's many ways that self-sabotage can show up. It can show up in how we talk. It can show up in our own negative self-talk and how we describe ourselves. It can be, we can sabotage ourselves and our goals and our health journey when we don't make ourselves a priority. When we say things like, oh, I'm too busy, or oh, my kids need me to do all this stuff for them first, and oh, there's all these responsibilities that I have and I can't take time for me, or oh, I have to finish this project and push really hard. I can't stop. I can't take any time out because if I do, this won't get done. And then we're sabotaging our own well-being in the process. And this shows up a lot. So it's something that if you're saying those kinds of things, to recognize and just be honest with yourself that that's really there for you. And then a lot of times sabotage shows up in procrastination, like saying, oh, today's not the right day. I'll start next week. Or, oh, I'm going to see my family member in another state. And, oh, I'll start this next week. Or, I didn't go for a walk today. I'll just do it tomorrow. But if you hear yourself saying these things on repeat and you are not making progress, that's when it's important to just be honest with yourself and recognize, wait a minute, I think I have an issue with procrastination. Like, what's the deal? And then dig into it. And then lastly, just kind of talking about your own self-acceptance and creating healthy boundaries. It's so important, you guys, to better support your nervous system and your overall health. Setting healthy boundaries because you love yourself is so important. It's such a huge thing that I see, especially as a mom, as you know, it can be very challenging. It can be something that we don't quite know how to do very well. So if that's the case, you know, it's something that you can just notice and recognize and see how you can make little baby step shifts to create better, healthy boundaries for you, for your own well-being. Because when you do, you're going to benefit your health, which is going to benefit everyone in your life. Another way we can sabotage is through perfectionism. You know, that whole if it's not perfect, I won't even start kind of thing. So there's a lot of ways that, you know, we all can choose, whether fully consciously or not, to sabotage what it is we really want. And it kind of boils down to, you know, our nervous system and our brain. You know, we're so geared to stay in our comfort zones and not make that change because, you know, it's scary and we don't know what's on the other side of it. And so we stay and we find reasons to not shift and change and grow. So check out my blog post, because at the end of the day, you guys, you can eat all the healthy food in the world. You can take all the supplements in the world. But if you aren't dealing with what's going on inside your heart, soul, and mind, and working on that too, you know, you're not going to be able to, you know, make the kind of sustainable, lasting habit change that will, you know, really impact your health in a major way. So I'm sharing this as we wrap up this year, food for thought for y'all as we head into the new year, so that you can be better equipped to be the best version of yourself. If you like this video, give me some likes. Feel free to share it with anyone who you think may benefit, and I will be back very soon to share more with you. Make sure you go click that link, head over to the blog, and read the post. Bye guys, have a good rest of your day.